I want to make a claim that might surprise you coming from someone who runs a YouTube channel and an Instagram account. The most powerful traffic engine that your business will ever have isn't your social media following. It isn't your subscriber count. It isn't your follower number on any platform. It is a community where people feel like they belong to something, they trust you specifically, and keep coming back not because of an algorithm served them your content, but because they actually want to be there. So today I want to talk about the difference between a following and a community. Why they look similar from the outside, yet feel completely different from the inside, and why I'm making the deliberate choice to build a community as the center of my business, even though I'm still in the early stages of building it. Let me be honest about what a following actually is. Honestly, I think we've collectively agreed to see it as more valuable than it really is. So a following is a group of people who have opted in to see your content on a platform that you don't own. They clicked follow or subscribe because something that you made caught their attention at a certain time. And that platform, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, wherever, decides whether they see your next piece of content based on its own algorithm and its own interests. Which means your following isn't really yours. It's the platform's audience that you have conditional access to. The algorithm changes and your reach drops. The platform makes a policy decision and your content gets suppressed. The platform disappears entirely, and we've seen this happen, and your following goes with it. And even on a good day, a following is passive. Someone follows you, they might see your content occasionally, they might like something here and there, but there's no real relationship there, no sense of belonging. No reason to come back specifically for you rather than for the next interesting thing that shows up in their feed, right? I have a following on YouTube and Instagram, and I'm grateful for it. But I want to be clear about what it actually is. It's attention. It's conditional, it's platform dependent, algorithm mediated attention. And it's not a business asset, it's a starting point. So a following is where you start. It's how people find you, but it's not where you build. The goal of every piece of content that you put out should be to move the right people from your following into something that you actually own. And that something is a community. So a community is something completely different. And let's be specific about it because the word gets used pretty loosely. So a real community is a space where people feel like they belong to something beyond just following one person's content. It's where they make connections with each other, where they show up, not just to consume, but to contribute, where the trust that they have in you extends into trust in the space itself and in the people they meet inside of it. And when that happens, something remarkable occurs. The community starts to sustain itself. People come back not because you pushed new content at them, but because the community is where their people are, because they have relationships inside it, because it feels like home in a way that a social media feed never could. And that's the highest quality traffic engine your business will ever have. Not because it's the biggest, most certainly won't be, but because the people inside are the most engaged, the most trusting, and the most likely to buy from you repeatedly over a long period of time. So you don't need a massive community to make this work. 1,000 truly engaged fans, people that trust you, feel connected to the vision and to each other, who come back consistently, will power a business for many years. And that's not a consolation prize for not having a bigger audience. That's actually the smarter way to build. So stop measuring your business by your follower count and start thinking about how many people you've actually brought into a space where real relationships and real trust can develop. Because that number, even if it's small, is worth far more than following tens of thousands who barely remember your name. So here's why I'm making the deliberate choice to build a community as the center of my business, even though I'm still in the early stages and don't have it fully built yet. I've spent enough time building on borrowed ground to know what it costs. Building a following on platforms that I don't own, creating content that lives or dies based on an algorithm, generating attention with nowhere real to send it, and I've watched what happens to women who build entirely on a following and nothing else. And when the platform shifts, they have to scramble. When their reach drops, they panic. When they take time away, the whole thing goes quiet because there's no community underneath holding things together. So a community changes that. When people feel like they belong to something, when they've made friends inside, when they trust the space itself, they come back regardless of whether the algorithm served them your latest post. The community becomes the reason they show up, not the content alone. So that's what I'm building toward, an owned community space on my own domain where my people can gather, connect, learn, grow, independent of any platform decisions. And it won't happen overnight. Building a real community takes time and consistency and showing up with genuine value before you ever ask for anything in return. But I genuinely believe it's the most important thing I can build for the long-term health of this business. And I'll be sharing very soon exactly how I'm building it and what's making it possible. So something is coming that I think is going to change the game and what's accessible for women who want to build this kind of owned community space. So stay close. You don't have to choose between a following and a community. You need both. So use your following to find your people and then move the right ones into a community that you own as quickly as you can, because that's where the real business gets built. All right, here is the takeaway today. A following is conditional. It lives on someone else's platform, depends on someone else's algorithm, and can be taken from you without warning. A community is yours. It belongs to you, you own it. It sustains itself. It creates the kind of trust and loyalty that generates repeat business for years. Not because you pushed content at people, but because they genuinely want to be there. So the goal isn't a bigger following. The goal is a real community, even if it's a small one, even if you are just starting to build. I'd love it if you'd drop a comment before you go and let me know, do you have a community right now or a following? And do you know the difference between the two in your own business? I want to know where you're actually at with this. And if you found this helpful, I would love it if you'd like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.